To solve equations with a letter on both sides of the equals sign, we start by moving all the letters across. I'm going to subtract 3g from both sides to give me 5g, subtract 8 equals -3. Then the opposite of subtract 8 is to add 8, which gives me 5g equals 5, and then dividing by 5 ends up with g equals 1. This one I'm going to move the 9q across, so I'm going to subtract 9q, which makes -2q plus 5 equals 5. Opposite of add 5 is subtract 5, so -2q equals 0, and dividing by -2 leaves me with q equals 0. Opposite of add 9 is subtract 9, so I get 7x is less than or equal to -14, and then divide by 7. So x is less than or equal to -2. Opposite of add 7 is subtract 7, so 3x is less than 9, and dividing by 3 gives me x is less than 3. This vertical line crosses the x-axis at the number -5, so it's x equals -5. The horizontal line crosses the y-axis at the number 1, so it's the line y equals 1. 98% means 98 out of 100, and I want that of 640. Which equals 627.2 kilometers squared. 96% is 96 out of 100 of the 910 pounds is £873.60. When we do a percentage increase, we start with 100% and then we add on. So adding on 83% takes me up to 183%. I had 5,970 and I want 183%, which is out of 100 of that amount. So 5,970 times 183% is 10,925.1 centimetres cubed in the question, centimetres cubed in the answer. Increase, so that's 100% plus. This time I'm adding on 93% to take me up to 193%. I had 82,500 and I want 193% of it. Which is 159,225 millimetres in the question, millimetres in the answer. This is change over original. So from 43 up to £73.96 is a change of £30.96. Comparing that to the original is 0.72, therefore 72%, and it's got bigger, so that's an increase. From 360 up to 507.6 is an increase of 147.6. Comparing that to the original is 0.41, so 41%, and again it's got bigger, so it's an increase. Investments is 100% add. So adding on the 12% takes me up to 112%. I had £2,290, and we're increasing to 112% every year for 5 years. Which gives me £4,035.76. Another increase, so 100% plus. This time it's also 12%, so still finding 112%, but this time of 43,400. We're applying our 112%, but for only 3 years. Which gives us £60,973.88. A reduction means we started with 100%, but then we subtracted. So we subtracted 61%, which got us down to 39%. So whatever the original price was, when it was multiplied by 39 out of 100, we ended up at £308.10. Opposite of multiply is to divide. So the original price was £790. Reduction, so that's 100%. Subtract. So this one's gone down to 94%. So the original price, when multiplied by 94%, came down to £42.30. Opposite to multiply is divide. So the original price must have been £45. Five significant figures. Significant figures we count from the very beginning. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 9,617 point. And instead of a 0, it's got a 9 after it, so it rounds up to a 1. To one significant figure, I start counting once I've got beyond the first 0. So one of the 9s, the first 9 is my one significant figure. But 9 is followed by another 9, so it's going to round up to 10, so it'll be 0.01. 2 k's multiplied together is k squared, 3 u's multiplied together is u cubed. The decimal point is going to move by no places, so it's going to stay as 6.75. Decimal point in this one is going to move one place to the left, so coming in front of the 2, so I get 0.28. All the factors, this is all the pairs, 3 times 21, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 9. 90 is 1 and 90, 2 and 45, 3 and 30, 4 doesn't go in, 5 and 18, 6 doesn't go in, 7, 8, 9 and 10. 72 as a product of prime factors is 2 cubed multiplied by 3 squared. 90 as a product of prime factors is 2 multiplied by 3 squared multiplied by 5. So they've got 2's in common, and they've got 3's in common, and in fact they've got 3 squared in common. 2 multiplied by 3 squared is 18. 60 as a product of prime factors is 2 squared multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5, and 80 is 2 to the 4 multiplied by 5. So they've got 2's in common and 5's in common, and in fact they've both got a 2 squared within them. 2 squared multiplied by 5 is 20. All mixed fractions questions, change them to top heavy first. So we change this to 17 over 5 plus 19 over 4. Then addition and subtraction is the cross multiplying method. So 17 times 4 is 68. 5 times 19 is 95. And just straight multiply the denominators. 5 times 4 is 20. So we can add them up. 68 plus 95 is 163 over 20, which is the same as 8 and 3/20. For B, 3 and 2/3 is 11 over 3. 2 and 2/5 is 12 over 5. Then the same thing, so cross multiply one way, cross multiply the other way, straight multiply for the denominator, and then do the addition. So 55 add 36 is 91 over 15, which is 6 and 1 over 15. Multiplication, same thing, so change to top heavy first, so 7 over 3 multiplied by 3 over 2, then it's much easier, multiply the denominators, multiply the numerators, multiply the denominators, and then simplify anything you've got, which is 7 over 2 or 3.5. 2.5 is 5 over 2. 1 and 2/3 is 5 over 3. Multiply the top, multiply the bottom, and do any simplifying. We get 4 and 1/6. Change them all into decimals, so I get 0.5, 0.96, 0.92. So in order, they're a half, 0.92 and 96%. 3/5 is 0.6, 16% is 0.16. So in order, it'll be 16%, then 3/5, and lastly 0.72. Do the numbers first, so 1.2 divided by 6 is 0.2. Then do the powers of 10, 10 to the negative 9 divided by 10 to the negative 7 is going to be 10 to the negative 2. Then we need to change this to standard form, so I multiply the first part by 10 and divide the second part by 10. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. 10 to the 10 divided by 10 to the 5 is 10 to the 5. Put it into standard form, so multiply the first number by 10 and divide the second number by 10. 27 and 6 have a common factor of 3. Both terms have an f. 3f multiplied by 9f is 27f squared, and 3f multiplied by 2e is the 6fe. 7 and 14 have a common factor of 7. Both terms have a p. 7p multiplied by another p makes the 7p squared, and 7p multiplied by 2t gives me the 14pt. When squaring brackets, make sure you multiply the brackets twice out over and then do FOIL. So s squared, subtract 2s, subtract 2s, add 4, and simplify to s squared, subtract 4s, add 4. Do the same for the other one. So firsts, outers, inners, lasts, and simplify. H squared subtract 10h add 25. Opposite of add 10 is to subtract 10, so I get 14 equals 2y, and then divide by the 2 gives me 7 equals y. Opposite of add 1 is subtract 1, so 5a equals 45. Divide by 5 gives a equals 9. This sequence is going up by 6s, so it's 6n, and then to get from 6 to a starting number of 16 I have to add 10. Second sequence is going up by 3s, so it's 3n, and to get from 3 to a start point of 11 I need to add 8.